Hi again, Crabs, and welcome back to the Ray William Johnson YouTube channel. And for your daily update on what I'm doing to stave off my quarantine boredom, I met God, and he was unimpressed. In today's episode of James Marriott's Leftover Video Ideas, we're going to be taking a look at something that James actually made a video on, and did so quite recently. Something that he is perhaps best known by some for covering. I got the idea for it because he said I could steal it. It's time to talk about Danielle Cohn Sister. And yes, that's definitely her real name, and not just what I'm calling her because she has like 5 different aliases, some of which I don't know if I'm legally allowed to pronounce because of how gruesomely I would be butchering the poor thing. For those of you who are lost because you have no idea who I'm talking about, Danielle Cohn's metaphorical sister is a Brazilian Instagram star, singer, and songwriter named Melody or Melody Official 3 on Instagram. And if you know who Danielle Cohn is, you can probably guess the reason we're calling this girl her sister, and if you don't, it's not fun. You know what is fun though? Being subscribed to my channel, which I found that roughly half of you are not, which shows how much you are missing out. But no worries. It's easy to get into. All you have to do is drop a like on this video, subscribe to the Kwite YouTube channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video again. It's your choice. Subscribe or be circumcised. Now that we have that obligatory bit out of the way, the story of Melody Official 3 is not unlike Danielle Cohn's, in that Melody is a young girl, currently 13, who was massively worried for because of how she was being sexualized at a very young age. For examples of what I'm talking about, here are a selection of posts she made to her Instagram in like the last week or so. Yup, this is a 13-year-old. And she was doing stuff like this when she was 11 too. Now these are far from the worst offenders, but they are certainly not exempt from a mix of creepy old men and small children calling Melody beautiful in her comments section with a concerning selection of emojis. Now this is seemingly happening to Melody by the hand of her father, MC Bolinho, a former Brazilian funk artist himself who manages her Instagram. He's also a self-described singer, composer, and musical producer, none of which are things I would have assumed when looking at this face. Listen, it's not on you, homie. It's just when you call yourself a composer, I expect Mozart to be the skin suit. Now, MC Bolinho manages his daughter's plural Instagram accounts. That's right, he has 3 daughters, one of whom's a literal baby, and they all have profiles he controls. I said that he controls Melody's account now, and he did in the past as well, but it wasn't always like that. At some point in early 2019, Bolinho said he was not in charge of his daughter's accounts any longer, and that it had fallen into the hands of Melody's mother, as well as him recently going into therapy as part of an agreement. This action came as a result of Melody's story gaining a lot of steam in Brazil, in big part thanks to the massive Brazilian YouTuber Felipe Neto bringing attention to it, refusing to cover Melody in his videos while she continued to be sexualized, and calling out Bolinho for what he was doing and exploiting his daughters for financial gain, and good seemed to come of it. Bolinho was no longer in charge of the accounts, like I said, and some of the more egregious posts were removed, and content that was getting posted to Melody's Instagram seemed a lot more in line with what somebody her age probably should be posting. It seemed like things were looking up. But kids, listen up! One of the first things you'll learn in life is that good things don't last, and usually you have to watch them get crushed in front of your eyes as you weep helplessly for what could have been. In this case, the could have been is that things continued the way they were. That Melody would be able to live her life like a normal child star, innocent in image and spiraling out of control into a drug craze when she's older. But alas, later that same year, Melody started posting some suggested pictures to her Instagram once again, even after the controversy they had been in because of that kind of content earlier in 2019. It was so startling that it happened after everything with Felipe that some publication made a whole article about one of the more questionable pictures. And on top of all of that, and as we already knew about, Bolinho was once again managing her and her sister's accounts. It's genuinely worrying, and I'm sure you understand the gravity of the situation, so while doing my best to avoid getting too serious, let's dive even further into the world of Melody Official 3. That way you will have to feel the pain I went through looking at some of this shit. The first thing I want to start with is something I'm pretty sure nobody else has covered yet, making it the first piece of original content to ever be on this channel, that thing being Melody's Wikipedia page. Because, whew, there is just something a little bit suspect about it. It's got all the usual stuff you see on a music artist's wiki page, their genres, associated acts, one of which happens to be her father in this case, and it was here that I found out Melody at one point also went by MC Melody. But the bit that makes this article so shady is the career section, because it's written in entirely, if not broken, then stilted English. The type of English you get when you're translating text from another language with Google, the same type of English I've had to read a bunch for this video while Google translating Portuguese articles into English. It's a very specific sound, trust me on this one. Listen to this excerpt from the 2018 to present bit of her career. On June 5, 2018, the singer released her new clip of The New Phase. This song, I don't know, by Rabola hit 21.708.111 views. Decimal points, baby! Who needs commas? commas. We're working within fractions of fractions now. Just on your channel. I don't see it on my channel. Months later, she left blonde hair for future work. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, that sounds like it came through Google Translate. Perhaps lifted from another unidentified source and translated from Portuguese to English to slap in the wiki page. But if that wasn't enough, the 2015 section is literally missing a citation and a source, and says this. Melody gained national notoriety in early 2015 after releasing a video on her Facebook page singing the song That Song, a song written by her father, MC Bolinho. In a following video, I tried to reproduce a falsetto of Christina Aguilera that became viral. The mysterious author of this article, right after saying that Bolinho wrote Melody's first viral song, really said, I tried. They referred to themselves in the first person, as the person who did the thing being written about in the article. Jesus fucking Christ. Now, a disclaimer, this is by no means definitive proof that MC Bolinho wrote this Wikipedia article himself in order to give his daughter seemingly more legitimacy. The I could have very well been a translation error in the same vein of how it seems to constantly refer to Melody as a he, and earlier in the article, the controversy around Melody's sexualization is mentioned. But damn, if it ain't weird that it's in the same shattered English that Google translated Portuguese to English is. I guess Instagram is as good a place to go next as any. It's her biggest platform where she has some 7.2 million followers, and I shiver at the thought of how many of those are horny old men. Here we have Melody standing in between her sister Bella and another girl named MC Henny, all of them being underage, and they're all posing provocatively and wearing sexually suggestive clothing, one of whom has a crop top hoodie that has a direct line of sight to her tits. I know my priorities are in the right place because the first thing I noticed was that one of them was wearing Yeezys, and people are actually wearing Yeezys a lot on Melody's Instagram, which does truly make me wonder, what would Kanye think about all of this? This one's a picture of a dog. It's not from her Instagram or anything. I just wanted to break the tension a bit. I felt like both of us deserve a break after having made it this far into the video. Just look at this guy. Isn't he the best? Aw, you're so cute and adorable, and a distraction from me getting my work done. Anyways, break's over, back to suffering. Here we have her in the waiting room for what I assume is some TV program, and there's nothing like super terrible here. I mean, she generally looks like she's wearing and posing for pictures like someone that's a decade older than her might, but that's about the extent of it here. But then we have this little picture here, and listen, I don't know this guy. I'm sure he could be a totally normal and nice person who's not attracted to children, and I'm not here to say anything about his character. What I will say though is that for my personal tastes, he is holding that at the time 12-year-old far too close and far too firmly for my comfort. Listen up, man. Do you press every guest you have on as deeply into your side as you can manage? One of the comments even says that Melody is apparently very exhibited, followed by 2 about to vomit emojis. God damn, fucking wax poetic, man. She posted a picture of her celebrating hitting 7 million followers while wearing fishnets and holding a big number 7 balloon, which might make you think that she's turning 7 years old, though I doubt that if she was, that it would stop some of the weird fuckers in her comments from saying some of the shit that they do. In a caption from one of her images, she asks, is anyone there to say hi, while jutting her butt out into the next dimension and sticking her tongue out at the viewer. I don't like it. Also, to answer your question, no. Somebody commented saying that the image was photoshopped, and I don't know if it is, but I'm trying to figure out in what universe it being photoshopped would be the problem, and not the fact that some shit like this is getting posted at all. Though that did bring to mind one picture I saw earlier on her account that looked as if it could have been enhanced. It's one of them Yeezy photos. I hate looking at that. But even one of the cheeky commenters said that Melody must have broken her back to get that picture. This next one is a video, and it's a dance routine rehearsal with the same 3 girls from the first image, but now there's another girl who's entered the fold, Nix Vieira, the first one that's actually legal. Bit late for that, but regardless, where with some of these other images, there were some suggestive undertones, maybe some risque outfits, you could maybe get some deniability on it being explicitly sexual, but here, the choreography is very clear on what it's supposed to be. Yeah, that was not fun to watch. If I'm being honest, I'm not entirely sure which of them is which, a worrying thought, especially considering that their ages range from 12 to 20 years old, and also because look at what they're fucking doing. This sucks, man. But I have managed to find a saving grace in this video. one of the girls was wearing a Heath Ledger Joker shirt. We found the gamer, baby! That means there is hope for them yet. I honestly believe there is a human limit on how much of this one person can consume without keeling over. I thought maybe I'd fare better because I'm a hoodie, not technically a person, and therefore have no rights, but I can't do this shit anymore, man. Hats off to James for making it through 2 of these gauntlets. Be sure to check out his recent video on this out after this one, as we are wrapping up. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like and subscribe with notifications on. Remember, don't send hate to the people I talked about in this video. If it isn't abundantly clear by now, Melody is a child and a victim of her situation, not someone to be attacked. For those of you who might have been wondering, massedup.shop did go offline yesterday, and it'll be like that for a little bit while we prepare for the next launch, so stay tuned. But I just wanted to give you all an update on that in case you were curious what happened to it. Anyways, you can follow me on Twitter at Kwite, on Instagram at Kwite.png, and on TikTok at KwiteTikTok. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I will see you guys next time.